It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Wickwar Brewery and it's a bottle of their Bob Classic Amber Ale. Here's a look at the label. It's 4% ABV. It's called a Classic Amber Ale. It looks kind of classic. Slightly hazy there in the clear glass. Black bottle cap. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the opening. You can see the carbonation there in the bottle. A little bit skunky on the aroma. That's the brewery using clear glass. It's not the best bottle type to use. I always advise to use brown glass. It stops to get any light in the beer. You all should know about, well, I shouldn't say should. You all probably know about Light Strike with clear glass bottles. If you don't know, just very quickly, because I'm going to talk about this a lot because it is very, very kind of light struck, this beer. Basically, the sun's rays hits the beer or the lights on a supermarket shelf, and it affects the hops. It does some kind of chemical reaction to the hops, and it gives off like a skunky aroma. It turns the hops from being pleasant and quite aromatic and flavoursome into something very very messy. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, very messy. And I'm saying all of this because sometimes when you get a clear bottle, you pop the cap, you get an initial bit of kind of a skunky aroma, and then it disappears. But this, no way, this is not going away anywhere. So just lots of kind of skunk ass kind of aromas coming out from this beer. Let's dive in. Cheers. You pick up an initial sweet malty taste, but then, and now on the back end there's a nice kind of biscuity bready malt coming through. But in the middle there, it's just that waft of skunky mess, and it's just not acceptable in 21st century brewing. I know I'm sounding harsh, and I hope the guys at Wickwar Brewing Company, I hope, you know, they've just brewed this. Basically, you can pick this beer up at Lidl's in the UK. Maybe it's the specification. Maybe clear glass is cheap. The reason why they brew these beers very cheaply, the 4% beers, is to get them in the supermarkets. It's about kind of mass volume, sell them quickly. But you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. What you're doing then is saying, okay, have a cheap beer, but you might as well buy Carling. And that's what the whole point of fine ales and real ales and craft beer is all about, is to move away from bland, generic, flavourless beer into something very tasty. But if you've wondered about craft beer, if you've wondered about good fine ales and you've looked to kind of pick one up and you've picked this up, then you might very well go back to drinking mass-produced lager. So we may have lost one for the team here. And it's a shame. It's a real shame. I think in brown glass it would have been a very acceptable 4% ABV brown ale. They call it Classic Amber Ale. It's a brown ale. But even if you look at the beer, there's a haze in there. You can see the haze through the bottle. Breadiness, maltiness, which is fine, but the hop skunk in here is awful. It's one of the worst beers with a skunky taste and aroma that I've had in a long time, probably 3 years. So that's Wickwar Bob. If you want to go out and try it, you can. It's a Wessex Brewing Company. You can, and there's a whole story about Bob White, tallest tales in the whole of England. I'm not going to read it. I'm not interested. I'm really not interested. If you're really interested in this beer, you really want to read the label. Here you go. Pause the video. But the moment the beer was kind of light struck for me, my interest just faded away. I'll probably never ever buy this beer again. Job done. So, Wickwar Bob, rating I don't know, it's completely skunked. How would you rate a beer like that? 2 out of 10? It's a 2 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. You can pick it up at Lidl if you want. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer reviews, and cheers.